Danny Masterson, famous for his funny role as Stephen Hyde on that '70s show, was caught in a storm of sexual assault accusations that landed him in jail. These claims go back to the early 2000s when he was a big Hollywood name. For years, some victims stayed quiet, scared to speak out, while Masterson kept shining in the spotlight. People wondered why he might have done these things. Some said it was a sense of being untouchable because of his fame. Others pointed to his ties with the Church of Scientology, where he was a big member. Victims said the church pressured them not to report him, which made it tough for them to come forward and added a messy layer to the story. In 2017, after the Me Too movement brought attention to Hollywood abuses, several women accused Masterson of assaulting them between 2001 and 2003. He was arrested in 2020 after 3 women said he forced himself on them at his Hollywood Hills home. Prosecutors said he planned it, giving victims alcohol to cloud their judgment before attacking. These accusations didn't just end his career, they defined it. He got fired from Netflix's The Ranch, cutting his Hollywood ties. His once bright career was over as the allegations took over his public image. In 2023, after a long public trial, Masterson was found guilty of 2 counts of forcible sexual assault, though the jury couldn't agree on a third charge. At 47, he was sentenced to 30 years to life in California men's colony. He won't be eligible for parole until he's at least 77, around 2053. The case still gets attention because of the Church of Scientology's alleged role in keeping victims quiet. Some victims are suing Masterson and the church for emotional and psychological harm. His defense is appealing the conviction, but experts say his chances are slim due to strong evidence and testimonies. Number 17, Drew Drechsel. Drew Drechsel, the star of American Ninja Warrior, took a major fall in 2020 when he was arrested for child exploitation. It started in 2019 when a teenage girl said she met Drechsel at an American Ninja Warrior event in 2015 when she was just 15. She claimed he started an inappropriate relationship with her, including explicit messages and later physical meetups. Court documents say he traveled to see her and told her to keep it secret. Federal agents found evidence of inappropriate texts and images between them. The American Ninja Warrior community was shocked. The show's producers cut all ties with Drechsel, removing his footage, and his sponsors dropped him fast. His reputation and career were wrecked overnight. In August 2020, he faced serious federal charges like making lewd materials with kids, traveling to engage in illegal acts with a minor, and enticing a minor for sexual activity. In 2023, he pleaded guilty to receiving illegal material and persuading a minor to travel for sexual activity. In 2024, at age 35, he was sentenced to 10 years and 1 month in federal prison, plus 15 years of supervised release and $100,000 to the victim. He's expected to be out around 2034, in his mid-40s. Harvey Weinstein, once a mega-powerful Hollywood producer who even appeared in some films, is now in prison after convictions for sexual crimes that sparked a huge scandal. His downfall began in 2017 when many women accused him of sexual misconduct, harassment, and assault, kicking off the global Me Too movement. As more women spoke out, it was clear Weinstein had a pattern of abusing his power over decades, manipulating and assaulting women while using his influence to silence them. Weinstein's power came from producing hit films with Miramax and the Weinstein Company, making him seem untouchable. Women said he'd lure young actresses and assistants to private hotel meetings, pretending they were work-related, then try or succeed in sexual misconduct, sometimes threatening their careers if they resisted. In 2017, the New York Times and the New Yorker exposed his actions, with many women sharing stories of coercion and violence. In February 2020, at age 68, he was convicted of third-degree forcible sexual assault and a first-degree criminal sexual act involving 2 women, getting 23 years in prison. Over 80 women accused him, but most cases were too old for charges. In a 4-3 decision, the New York Court of Appeals overturned his conviction, saying he didn't get a fair trial because some women's testimonies shouldn't have been allowed. Weinstein also faced charges in California for assaults on 5 women between 2004 and 2013. In 2022, a Los Angeles jury convicted him of forcible sexual assault and sexual assault, adding a 16-year sentence to start after his New York time. If convicted again in a new New York trial, he'll likely stay in prison for life. Josh Duggar, a reality TV star from 19 Kids and Counting, faced a huge downfall that led to his 2021 arrest for crimes involving minors. In 2015, it came out that as a teen, he'd behaved inappropriately with 5 underage girls, including his sisters. No charges were filed then, but the scandal canceled 19 kids and counting, and Josh went to a faith-based rehab program. Later that year, he was exposed in the Ashley Madison data leak for seeking affairs, wrecking his reputation and causing family drama. He kept a low profile, working at his family's car dealership, but in 2019, federal agents investigated his online activity for illegal materials involving minors. They found he'd used the dark web to download explicit content, using tricky software to hide it from his wife's monitoring program. Some of the material was so bad we won't even describe it. It's just awful. In April 2021, Duggar was arrested and charged with receiving and possessing illegal materials. At his November 2021 trial, prosecutors showed clear evidence of his actions. Experts said the material was some of the worst they'd seen. His defense claimed someone else could have downloaded it, but the court didn't agree. In December 2021, he was found guilty on both counts. In May 2022, at age 34, he got 12.5 years in FCI Seagoville, Texas, a prison for similar crimes. With good behavior, he could be out by 2032, around age 44. After release, he'll face limits on being alone with minors, even his own kids. His crimes hit his family hard. His wife, Anna, faced heavy criticism for supporting him, and the Duggar family's influence in their Christian community took a big hit. TLC canceled their rebranded show, Counting On, in 2021, ending their TV run. Jared Fogle, once called the Subway Guy, was a huge success story in the early 2000s after losing 245 pounds by eating Subway. For years, he was their main spokesperson, starring in commercials and speaking across the U.S. He even acted in movies like Sharknado. But in 2015, his world crashed when an investigation tied him to crimes involving minors, shocking everyone and destroying his career. It started when the FBI looked into Russell Taylor, the director of Fogle's charity, the Jared Foundation, and a close friend. They found explicit material involving minors that Taylor made and shared. This led to Fogle, and when agents checked his devices, they found texts, emails, and records showing he'd solicited explicit images from minors and engaged in illegal acts across states. His actions were criminal and hypocritical, since he'd built his image on health and helping kids through his foundation.